become a bigger entrepreneur post-COVID. You've not only diversified products to address the needs, you've also diversified your businesses. You've become a serial entrepreneur. From becoming founder of Waxpol Hotels and Resorts, you've become a serial entrepreneur and you've been running other businesses wherever you found the opportunity. This is what entrepreneurship is about. I love your adaptability. I love your agility. And I love what you are ensuring that you're doing to keep yourself going. So amazing, really good stuff. Um,
Thank you.
since you did mention your team, Akanksha, and I will state out here that I had the pleasure of going to one of your properties. And what I
Mm.
found out there about your team is the people were all local people, you could make that out, but their attitude was the kind that you would get, or their service standards was the kind that you would get at a Taj or an Oberoi. So you've obviously done
Thank
something
you.
right with your team. I loved their smiling faces. They were always up to help you. They may not have spoken
Mm.
English fluently, but they knew your
Mm.
needs and they knew how to service you. And
Yeah.
they were all local people. I didn't find anybody out there who was not a local person. So what have you done to manage to put a team like that together?
Thank you, Kamali. That's actually something which is very close to my heart, and it actually comes from my grandfather as well. We always believe in developing the areas where we work in, because it's not because they are going to be a catering team, because that's how our country, India, is going to grow. Bharat is going to grow, right? And that's something which is very close to our PM's heart as well right now. But this is something which was inculcated in us when we were young, that your company is your family. So treat everyone with the same level as you would treat an outsider or a family person, your staff. In the end of the day, they're working for you, they are with you. They're not just an employee for us. They're our family. And the way we look at it, for example, when you spoke about Sundarbans, all the people there are actually ex-poachers and ex bandits. So we actually converted the way of life.
Ex
And
bandits, you said, ex bandits.
yes, yes,
The people
yes,
working in your resort are ex bandits. Wow.
yes. So they
Take it from there. Tell me.
so basically what happened is when we went there to invest in the place, it was a very impoverished, underpaid place. And generally locals used to send the children to the river to fish, and they became crocodile and shark attack victims. And that's where we came in with a fixed salary per month. And we told them, listen, don't tell your child to the river to collect prawn farming or elite fish farming. We send them to school. So we helped them set up the first government school in the Airport Island. And that's where the whole journey kind of changed. The whole village started respecting us because the quality of life improved. That was one. Secondly, they got financial security. They knew that every month they are going to get something which is fixed, and we're not running away. It didn't matter if we were not getting the business that we expected. We've always paid out what is due to us because, again, you can't earn by squeezing out from a poor man. That's definitely not going to happen. Secondly, like that takes care of financial stability. Since they were from such a remote region, they did not know how to work in hospitality. And that's where I spoke to the IHM Karatalla in Calcutta, and I got them all trained by the faculty from a very reputed hotel school in Calcutta for a month. And I myself was there for a training. We also got our first aid training done by Red Cross. So here we are, what we're doing is we're taking someone who's skilled in fishing, in honey collection, coaching, and completely changing the paradigm and teaching them how to service to a client coming in from Calcutta or from abroad. Honestly, Kamalini, our main clients initially were foreigners, not even Indians. And we completely changed the dynamics there. Once they saw that their quality of life has improved, we taught them how to become team players, giving responsibilities, sharing responsibilities. It's not like, okay, this is your job, you have to do it. If you notice something again, which is very unique, is everybody knows how to do everything. We focus on multitasking. Everybody should know how to do this. Is how they have also developed the skill, and this actually leads to personal growth.
Yeah.
And this is something which they realized, oh, I can do this also, I can do this also. So, it gives you a lot of self satisfaction. Not many words, you realize it within yourself. Also, something which is given to my team is, again, family is, they are all independent. They're allowed to think. They have been given responsibilities. There was a time, like when I had to oversee the local staff on a day-to-day basis and tell them, okay, this is what you have to do, this is how you have to do it. I'm happy to say that our team members, our managers there, they understood the way I think I work. My team understood the way I think I work, what is required of them. And then they started dispersing it to the new trainees. They became the trainers for the next step. And after that, now today, if you know Kamlini, I'm again traveling quite a bit. I'm almost out for 15 days in a month. And you'll be like, Akanksha, how to manage? You're anyway living in Delhi. You have an operation in Sundarbans. You have an operation in Duas. You have an operation in Pench and coming up in Kana. Are you managing it? Even when the time there was no Zoom, we always had phone call. So we would do a regular morning call, even the one which we even do till date, where the whole team, managers, and the marketing officers come on a call together, and we discuss the strategy, what's going to be happening today, if you have any guests coming in, what went well yesterday, what went bad yesterday, how can we rectify something, if something requires repair and maintenance. So we are on the dot, we are active on a day-to-day basis. Another thing is that to keep our team motivated, because I feel that's another big challenge in today's day and age with, so many videos, people showing off more than what they can actually do. Like in that space where communications become very important, we came up with the concept of office offsites. So we do two type of offsites. One which is with our core team, which is a marketing team and all the managers together, where we visit one of the properties and we go and share do all the experiences we are giving to our guests. And this is done yearly for a week. So, we know what we're delivering, we know how the team is performing and what we know what's going in. Secondly, we do a localized offsite, which is done by the manager and the team on site, where they have a weekday out or the family day out, like a picnic. So they can actually enjoy a great break, have some fun. So it's another form of team building. And then, of course, you have your games and so on. But we do very different games. We don't do the corporate games. We play more pittu and cricket and so on. Yeah.
Lovely,
So,
lovely.
yeah. Mm.
So, Akanksha, you said so many things. I actually had to write them down. The first thing which I gathered is that you invested a lot on skill development and training. So, you
Right.
ensured that the team that you were building was trained overall and trained in many things so that they could understand for themselves what it is that they want to do and what it is that they are good at. And you took it to the next level, because what you did is, after they were trained and they were on the job for a while, you ensured that they became the teachers for the next lot of
Correct.
people that were coming. So there are three ways of learning. One is to just gather information, the second is to implement, and the best way is to teach what you have learned. So you've
Correct.
embedded your skill development, you've embedded all your trainings by ensuring that the people, the locals who got trained, started training the newcomers who were coming. The second point you mentioned, which I really liked, is you ensured you empowered them and they started
Exactly.
working, functioning independently, which is why you got the freedom to live in a city of
Correct.
your choice instead of living in your resorts and being hands on. You gave them empowerment, you delegated the powers, and you gave them the freedom to run the property as they felt was best after your training. And you said one of the ways in which you engaged with them and kept them motivated was by carrying out offsites consistently and regularly. And one of your offsites
Right.
were actually family days, where they came in with their families and you all had a fun game of village games and interactions and food and whatever, enjoyments. So a
Mm.
lot of ways in which you've kept your team engaged. And before we move on to, I did note down some of the systems you put in place, but before we move on to that, Akanksha,
Mm.
uh, does your company follow any core values? Do you all have a culture? Is it written down, or how do you ingrain or introduce your culture? What is the code of values that your company has? How do your employees function? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course, of course. So core values is something which is very important for any team, and of course, they need to be defined. Until and unless they're not defined, it's very hard to follow. It can be always evolving, right? So initially, honestly, we did not have, and over the years, in approximately 2008, is when we ended up defining them.